this thought in mind. This is not what I expected.
All right.
This is not what I expected. One of the unfortunate things that has happened in the modern day church is that we now participate and teach a watered down theology. We are so much of biblical concepts and theological principles that were foundations of who we are have been watered down to nothing more than superfluous jargon. Things that just we just haphazardly use words. One of these words that we so haphazardly use is anointing. In this day and time, everything is anointed. They shout well, they are anointed. If they sing well, they are anointed. If he or she preaches with such profoundness and loudness, they are anointed. When in reality, they may not be anointed at all. They might just be gifted in crowd manipulation. Well, but we call everything anointed. In this day and time, we think anointing has something to do with the way somebody runs or shouts or jumps around, or if they're a particular type of aggregation. When in reality, the anointing is simply the supernatural empowerment of God that comes upon you to do an assignment that you could not do in your own natural power. See, the reality is, you may not ever speak in tongues, but if you are on assignment, you are anointed. You may never stand behind a sacred text as such, but if you are on divine assignment, you are anointed. But what people don't tell us most often is that when you are anointed, there's always these accompanying antagonisms. See, you cannot be anointed and not go through some things. So there's an antagonistic assassin that will come with every anointing. So that sometimes the evidence of your anointing is the stuff that you go through on your way to the purpose that you were anointed for. See, for David discovered this in his own life. See, David discovered this. It was amazing that after the anointing in Bethlehem at the home of his father Jesse, it appeared that David's life from there went downhill. See, from that point, he became the worship leader for Saul, worshiping demons off of him, and he becomes the armor bearer for Saul. And Saul senses that there's something special about David. Yeah. See, he senses that God is up to something without even having the beneficiary of being at the anointing. It's amazing to me that sometimes jealous people, watch this, sometimes jealous people are spiritual. See, they are spiritual because they can see what God is up to in your life sometimes before you can yourself. See, sometimes you ought to just thank the folk that have come against you because you didn't know you had it going on like that. See, you didn't know you had it going on like that until they started messing with you in your own life. You didn't know that you were that awesome until they started messing with you. You didn't know that people were even watching you until that devil jumped on your back. Now, see, here we are. We have David, and he has Saul trying to kill him. And the Bible declares that he goes on the run. He ends up in a place called Gad. See, with a king. And he has to fake like he's mentally challenged in order to get away from him. And he's running. And he ends up in a cave 20 miles outside of the city of Adullam. Now put yourself in David's shoes here. Here you are, the next king. You are anointed for royalty. Here you are, having been told by God that you are elevating to the kingship, and now your life has you in a dark, damp, dingy cave. David has been looking around, watch this, knowing who he is, but seeing where he is and saying, this is not what I expected. See, life can have this way of having these strange turns. See, on the way to where God is trying to take you. Is there anybody that can testify today that you've been going through some stuff and you were trying to get into it for the good, but nobody told you about the bad that would happen? I mean, you got married for better or for worse, and better never showed up, and worse showed up in your house. You took a job to make more money, but you realized more money, more problems. You took a promotion, only to discover that the people that you were working with were more ratchet at the top than they were at the bottom. And here you are with all these life-changing things, and every now and then you sit back and you say, God, this is not what I expected. And if you're not careful, you will turn and walk away from your blessing, because what you didn't realize is that you cannot go from the pasture to the palace without going through the cave. The cave is a necessary stop before you make your way to the palace.
All right.
So how do I handle my cave condition so that I don't forfeit the place that God is trying to take me? Watch this. I got 3 quick things. And I know y'all ready to go. I know y'all can smell that food just like I can. And we're going to get out of here. 3 quick things. 3 quick things, and we're going to be on the way. The first thing that the text is tailored to teach me, or to teach us, and this is what you have to understand. I love this. Mm-hmm. The cave is a place of cultivation, not cancellation. Right. See, don't judge your place on the journey by your place in the journey. See, don't judge your condition on the journey by the context of where you are on the journey. Don't let where you are become the definition of where you are going. You can't live sight-driven. Because if you think about this thing, for David, he's looking at this, and this whole thing looks like a hot mess. You know, he's on the run from somebody he once served. I mean, if it wasn't for David, Saul would still be tormented by demons. All if it wasn't for David, Israel would still be tormented by Goliath. Right. If David has been so faithful, David has served, and here he is in the cave that looks nothing like a castle. Well, and if you are sight-driven, watch this, you might come to an over-spiritual assumption that God is not in it. Because if God was in it, you wouldn't be where you are. Well, I know y'all don't like that, but think about it like this. We always try to associate the favor of God with positive conditions. Come on now. See, when sometimes the favor of God is what's keeping you in a condition that shouldn't have killed you. You don't always have favor because you got great things. Sometimes you have favor because in a jacked up situation, you still got your mind, you still got your sanity, you still got your peace, you still got your joy, and that's the favor. Don't judge what God is taking you by where you are. It's not a cancellation of your assignment. It's cultivation for your assignment. I'm going to prove it to you. Watch this. All these men came to him. Now, I'm going to come back to that in a second. Watch the text. It says that he became. Okay, listen. Y'all ain't even, black people don't even know what to shout. He became their leader in the cave. He is in a becoming process. Not in the school, not on the job, but in the cave. So maybe your cave condition is a becoming season for where God is making you what you already claimed, or He's already claimed you to be. He's put it inside of you because maybe when He named you, you were not mature enough to handle where He is taking you. So He held on to your blessing so that He could work on you, that He could make you the blessing what's supposed to be. All right. It's a maturing season. He's working on you. Watch this. I got a story, and this might help the situation a little bit and understand where I'm coming from. The other day, my son plays soccer, and I had to go into his room because he called me. He wanted me to bring him a pair of tights. He said, "Daddy, my tights are in the closet." Well, when I go to the closet, there is a brand new suit hanging up in the closet with tags on it. So I'm sitting here wondering, why is this suit still hanging up in this closet with the tags on it? And I'm thinking to myself, now if it wasn't working out, why is this suit still in the closet? Why didn't you go back and get my money? That's what I'm thinking about my wife, but she know how tight I am. Why not go back and get my money? So I yelled down and said, Monty, there's a suit hanging in Cam's closet. I said, and it still has the tags on it. And she said, yeah, I know. And in my mind, I ain't say it out my mouth. In my mind, I said, now why in the world did she go back and get my money? And before I can even say anything else, she says, I know what you're thinking. I was like, mm-hmm. She said, why didn't I go back and get your money? And I said, no, baby, I ain't thinking. She said, watch this. She said, when he tried it on, it was too big for him. But she knew that by next year he would be in a season of growing that he could fit into that suit. See, the good thing about God is It's not that he would take your blessing for you. He will put that blessing in the closet because he knows that you have not matured enough to get to where you're trying to get to. You have to be careful. You have to be careful when you look at things. Okay. Not cancellation. It's cultivation. The second thing in the text. You're not going to like this. This is rough right here. This is rough. All right.